and they will pray for you. Like, imagine if your friends pray for you. Imagine if your friends prophesy over you. Imagine if your friends are going into warfare for you. Like, this is what friendship is for. It's not just for vibes and inshallah. No, there is purpose behind everything that God does. So welcome back to my channel. I told you I'm gonna be consistent. In today's video, I'm gonna be talking about navigating friendships as a Christian girly. Like, as a Christian period, but like as a Christian girly, because I'm a Christian girly. It's definitely not easy, especially if you were like worldly and transitioning into like Christian, like the private, killing the flesh. You need to stop doing certain things. Like, you can't be in certain places, you can't, you know what I mean? Like, you just try to avoid a lot, which becomes difficult if your friendships were based on that. Like, some of my friendships were based on going out, and some of my friendships were based on this and that, and I had to let go, or I had to figure out a way to make it work, whereas I'm not compromising my faith. Do you know what I'm saying? So I've got a couple of points, but please don't mind the noises and everything. I'm in a busy household. So the first point is setting boundaries. If you don't set boundaries, people will always think they can push it, right? As much as maybe back then that's who you used to be, you need to make it known that this is who I am, this is my identity, and this is what I'm doing. Even outside of Christianity, I feel like boundaries are important in relationships and friendships and workplaces. Like, if people exploit boundaries, then it's detrimental to the relationship, essentially. So you need to set boundaries. You need to be like, okay, listen, sis, I love you, but I ain't finna be going to the club at 3 a.m. Like, what are we doing? What are we actually doing? What is this? Let's be wholesome. Let's do wholesome activities. Do you know what I mean? Let's go painting. Let's go on a walk. Let's go to the aquarium. Let's do wholesome things. Like, there's no need for you to be downing 25 bottles. For what? Right? Bombastic side eye. Number 2 is very close to number 1, setting boundaries. It's knowing how to say no. I've found that people find it difficult to say no to situations because of FOMO or fear of missing out, or they just feel like their friends are not gonna like them. Listen, I can go out with my friends, I can go for lunch and I can go for dinner, and the moment I see that this dinner is taking a turn, I can be like, my friends, listen, I gotta go to bed. I'm tired. I got church in the morning. You could be serving at the house of the Lord in the morning. You know how early you have to wake up to be serving in church? Do you know? Do you understand? And you want to be going out late hours. You can literally just be like, this is where my night ends. Saying no is not a difficult thing. You just need to be confident enough in what you're doing, right? You need to understand that, listen, this is off-brand. It does not align with my brand. So I need to, I need to add me on Instagram. I'll be posting stuff on Instagram. Please add me. I'm also starting a new series on my Instagram, which is going to be called Food for Thought Thursdays. So I'll be posting like a reel to just reflect on my week. Please check it out. Please support and please engage. So yeah, that is the point. Just say no. Like, point blank, simple. Learn how to say no. And then your friendships will be balanced and your friendships will be healthy because you're not forced or coerced into something you don't want to do. And the third point is you gotta pray for your friendships. Praying for friendships. Like, you need to put them in your prayer. You need to ask God to kind of help them see where you are, help put people in your life that are on brand and that are aligning with the purpose and the journey that God is putting you on. So I had to pray this prayer, and then let me tell you something. This prayer and the prayer of God is my man. God will answer 2 to 3 working days, quick. He is quick with it. So you better expect an answer real quick. You better expect an answer real quick, and you must also be open to people leaving your life. because sometimes they just start falling off. Friends just start, and you're like, dang, dang, dang. So you should be expectant of certain friendships dying because maybe they serve their purpose and it's time for it to go. It's time for new endeavors, new friendships. Some friendships have an expiry date and it's okay. It doesn't mean you're beefing. Don't start beefing with people because now you're Christian child, you walking different. No, just in love, let them go, right? So just be prepared for God to remove some people. But also, when He removes some people, He'll always bring the right people. He'll bring community, He'll bring friends, He'll bring just people, anchors in your life that you will see that truly this is a God-like friendship. And just pray about it. Just pray about it. You'll be good. Point number 4 is sometimes you just need to understand that you're in a season of isolation. Sometimes God is just gonna cut everybody off, or not necessarily cut them off, but they just silent. They just know it to be found. Like you just feel like you're alone. And sometimes you're in a season of isolation because He's just doing what He gotta do. You know what I mean? I can get deeper into seasons of isolation than all of those things, but it's just Him doing what He gotta do, and they will come back eventually, and they will come in season. But I think it's also important to discern which season you're in. So some seasons you're just not gonna have any friends. Like it's just gonna be you and God and vibes. I've been in them seasons. It's hard, but it's important. Everything God does is important, right? So yeah, those are basically like my top tips for just navigating friendships as a Christian girl. Like I know how hard it is to let go and just be like, dang, they be like, some vacations you can't be going on, some lunch dates you can't be going on because they'll be going with other people that you know that it's not going to work for you. So it is hard, but God really does bring people for you. And then the question that I always get is, how do you find Christian friends? How do you find normal friends? You need to be engaging. Go outside, do something, be there, make yourself available. Don't be the first person after church service running out. You're running. Why are you running? Why are you running? Don't be running out. Like, actually speak to people. Go for a coffee, go for ice cream, go for juice. You don't need to have, I know there's something about church culture and coffee. Let's divorce ourselves from that. But anyways, just initiate with someone that you like. Where are you gonna meet Christian friends? At the church, child. Go to church. Go to church. And yeah, that's that. And then another thing is TikTok. I found that like social media is essentially not just TikTok, but social media. Like if you follow people of like faith, you will kind of get to just like from DMs and responding to stories or commenting on TikToks like this. Like so many people are seeking for friendships or just for communion. It won't be hard to find it. And also pray about it. Because if you pray, ask and you shall receive, knock and the door will be open if it is in God's will. So if God wants you to receive new friendships, you will. I received so many friends from Freedom Church because I got anchored in that church and it became like my home back in Cardiff. And like I have good, like meaty friendships where they can pray for you, you can have fun, you can go to the movie, you can go for dinner, you can have sushi. Ooh, me and Jana love sushi. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then you can have a deep conversations and they will pray for you. Like, imagine if your friends pray for you. Imagine if your friends prophesy over you. Imagine if your friends are going into warfare for you. Like, this is what friendship is for. It's not just for vibes and inshallah. No, there is purpose behind everything that God does. So yeah, that is my top tips on navigating friendships as a Christian girly. If there's anything else that you want to know, just drop a comment down below. Ask, engage. I got you. If you want to be friends. Also, I'm not gonna cap. You don't have to be friends with real people. Okay. Let me put it this way. I know there's like a thing or like an umbrella that like Christian people are weird, or like Christian people can't dress, Christian girls like this, Christian girl. You can be friends with pretty girl, makeup banging, hair on fleek. I don't have an install right now, that's why I have this bucket hat. Hair popping, nails popping, makeup popping, everything can be popping. Who said? Who said Christian girls can't be pretty? Who said Christian people can't like just slay? Slay. You can have friends in your I mean, as much as God may call you to more and expand what you usually wouldn't get into, but you can have friends that are like, if you're an artistic person, you can have an artistic Christian friend. If you're a musician, you can have a musician Christian friend. Like, God has people everywhere. So don't limit it to, oh my gosh, like this person is like, I feel like we have nothing in common and like I'm forcing this friendship. You don't have to force friendships. Don't do that. It can be genuine with someone who's an opposite of you. Yes, it is possible. But you can also have people that are your people, like that you would genuinely get along with, even if you weren't Christian, right? So that's just food for thought. Food for thought Thursdays promo. So yeah, that's the gist of it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I love this. Like, I haven't done this in a minute. I love this. I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna eat it up. Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you next week.